Alright, so I've had this book for a decent while. Cat. So I've had this book for a decent while. It's basically just full of excerpts from the Bible, the Latin Bible, the Vulgate, translated by St. Jerome. I think it was finished in 404, yeah. But prior to having this, I had the full version of the Vulgate and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it not really for its contents, but because it's one of the easiest, if not the easiest, to read Latin text for learners. Simply because at the time it was written not for the educated, not for the elite, but for poorer people, for peasants, for common people, to kind of publish the Bible out, with the Vulgate, the name of the edition, being the Latin adjective for vulgatus, which means vulgar, to make common. So the Bible is literally, it's a common version for common people. So yeah, coincidentally it's also the best reading tool for learners. Although unfortunately the full version that I had was a massive hardback, over 1,000 pages. It was basically impossible to take out with me, so I wanted a smaller version, less text, paperback, much lighter, something I could put in my pocket so I could just freely use it, either take it out with me or just be able to hold it in my hands much easier for studying and reading. Again, I enjoyed the full version. I got to a point where I could read several pages off it ongoing without stop, but you need something smaller, you needed something more portable, so I get this. The only unfortunate thing is with it is that because it's just excerpts, it's literally like a page or two, sometimes just a page and a half of writing, and then it stops, which number one breaks immersion. So you're not following a full story, you're just following maybe 20 different verses, then it goes on to the next 20 and the next 20. So it breaks immersion, which severely diminishes the enjoyment of the book. Plus, it also means that each 20 verses, each page and a half or so, you're dealing with completely new vocabulary, whether it's with the full Bible, where I was working from it page to page along the same story. The vocabulary was very similar and I could also follow a plot. So given this, well, it's certainly a lot more portable than the bigger one I have, and I'm happy for that. I don't really like it. It's actually discouraged me massively from learning Latin. Simply because again it's not enjoyable, it's not immersive, and it's annoying, extremely annoying, having to learn a completely new set of vocabulary every other page. Whether it's with the other one I could just kind of follow on, and it felt like with each page as I was going, you know, I was making progress, I was learning the vocabulary, which would help me with the next page, so there was less and less vocabulary to learn. Whether it's with this, again, every other page you're basically just restarting with a completely new set of vocabulary. There's no feeling of process and there's no story, so given that, I decided I'm just going to try it out today. This is probably the last time I'll use the book. After that I'll just be left my bookshelf abandoned, and I'll just go to the full edition of the Bible, the full version. Starts from Genesis 1, which I've completely mastered, as you'll see here, and then continue on, see as the story progresses. And from that, my vocabulary, I should learn some obviously as I'm going along. It should, as I said, get easier and there should be some immersion. But with that, before I do put it in my bookshelf and abandon it, I think I could read through it now, just to see how well I do. Now the first 4 chapters of the book I've already pre-read. I've basically mastered them. However, the next, I said 3 or 4, the first 4 chapters of the book, but the next 11 I have basically no idea of, so I don't know how many I'll be able to do now, probably 5, and I could do 5 tomorrow. So the first 4 that I'll do today, I've already pre-read them a few times, already know them. I'll be surprised if I slip up on 1 or 2 words. Whether it's the last chapter, the 5th will be really difficult. And again, I'll do either 5 or 10 tomorrow, but this is basically just an introduction to the book. And why I don't want to read it, why I just want to go to the full version. With that 5 minutes of the video, should probably start. So I'll just flip through it, and I'm going to be kind of translating it as I go, reading it as I go. Again, this is completely improv, just walking through the dark. Right, so here I go. There's a text there. I'm not going to be reading Latin, I'm going to be translating it into English. Fuck, I can't see because there's no light. So that might stop me a bit as well as stuttering. In the beginning, God created the sky and the earth. And the earth was vacuous and empty. And there was darkness over the face of the abyss. And the Spirit of God was carried over the waters. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was in fact light. And God saw the light, and that it was good. And he divided the light from the darkness. He called the light day, and the darkness night. And this was made fact on the evening and the morning of the first day. Sorry if I can't see because of the light again. And God also said, "Let there be fermentation in the middle of the waters." And he divided the waters from the waters. And God made the fermentation and divided the waters which were under the fermentation from these which were over the fermentation, and it was so. And God called the fermentation the sky, and it was made on the evening and the morning of the second day. And God truly says, "Let the waters gather together which are under the sky into one place." And dry land appeared. Fuck, I can't see again. Again, it's 2 seconds. It's not that I can't see, it's that it's not that I can't read the words, it's I can't see and there's also other people in the street. So, quite embarrassing. Right, let me start again. And God truly says, "Let the waters which are under the sky be gathered into one place," and dry land appeared, and it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering of water he called the sea. And God saw that it was good. So, again, if I can just get some light. Quick. Here's the Latin text, just read, just translated in English. Go to the next page. I may need to cut this video short, 15 minutes, although it will take forever to upload. So maybe a part 1, part 2. Start again. And God said, "Let the earth grow green vegetation, making seed and fruit-bearing trees, making fruit next to its own species. Seed into itself will be over the earth," and it was so. And the earth carried the green vegetation forward to the seed next to its own species, and the tree making fruit and having, I believe that's every one or something. I can't each other or every one. I can't remember. Each one or every other into itself, according to its own species. And God saw that it was good. I cannot see again. 2 seconds, sorry. And this was done in the evening and the 3rd day. And God also said, "Let there be illumination in the fermentation of the sky." That divides the day. Oh my god. I'm gonna go back. From the night. And there was, and the sign and times and days and years. So that the fermentation may shine in the sky and illuminate the earth. And it was so. And God made two great lights. One major to rule over the day, and one major to rule over the day, and another minor to rule over the night and the stars. And God placed these in the fermentation of the sky to light over the earth and rule the day from the night. And he divided the light from the darkness, and God saw that it was good. And this was done this evening and the morning of the fourth day. God also said, let the waters bring forth crawling, living animals and flying things. There's a few translations of that, but the word is volatile. It's flying things basically, I can't remember their translations, over the earth under the fermentation of the sky. And God created the great sea creatures, ketas, which is the word can be sea monsters, sea creatures or whales. It's not a word with many translations. The grand sea creatures and all animals living and moving, whom the waters led forth in their own species, and all flying things according to their own race. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed those, saying, grow and multiply and replicate over the waters, the waters of the sea. Birds multiply over the earth. And this was done on the evening and the morning of the fourth day. And God also said, I can't say again. He also said, let the earth bring forth living animals in their own species. In Inumenta, that's the first word I don't know. I think it means young something. No idea what it means. So, Inumenta. No idea what it means, young something, but I can't remember. And reptiles and beasts of the earth, according to their own species. And it was so. And God made the beasts of the earth next to their own species, and Inumenta, I believe it's... Sorry. They believe that Inumenta might be a beast of burden. I don't remember it again. There's a few translations. It's basically an animal that's used for work, a beast of burden. Inumenta and all reptiles of the earth, according to their own species. God saw that it was good. And he said, we shall make man in our own image. He'd let it again. And he says, we shall make man to our own image and our likeness. And he shall rule over the fish of the sea and the flying things of the sky and the beasts of the terrestrial earth, all crawling which are moved in the earth. And God created man to his own image, to the image of God. He created him, male and female, he created them. And God blessed them, and God said, grow and multiply and replicate over the earth and sublicity, I don't know what that word is either, them and the dominion, the fish of the sea, the flying things of the sky, the animals which are moved over the earth. And God said, behold, I give you all vegetation brought forth by the seed over the earth, and a universal language which has in itself the planting of its own so I can't see again, that you may have food. This is the last light, I think I should be able to get it by now. That's nearly 15 minutes. Very close, very close. And can't remember that was. Conticus. And Holy, the animals of the earth, all the birds of the sky, and those which are moved over the earth, and which the animals living, to have living, and it was so. And God saw Holy, which he made, and it was greatly good, and it was so in the evening and the morning of the 6th day. So yeah, that's me done. There's a text on that page. You can't really see it, great. Just thanks. There's a bit of light over here. So yeah, it took way longer than it should have, but that's just done. I only managed to get through one story. Tomorrow I'm just going to pick off where I left, and it'll be light then, so I shouldn't have to worry about being able to read, and also have to worry about giving an introduction. I'll basically just pick up immediately and try to get through at the very least the next 4 stories, so that's 5 down. Again, the first 3 of which I know, the last one, the 5th one, no idea, so that's going to be really messy. But yeah, this video's already been quite a mess, so I'll just end it here. The cat's gone now.